Lesson 4-5 Practice. Changes over rational intervals. Question 1. The table shows the monthly revenue of a business rising exponentially since it opened an online store. Complete the following to describe how the monthly revenue is growing. The revenue grows by a factor of blank every 3 months. Well, 90,000 divided by 72,000 is the same as 90 divided by 72. You can see that's 1.25 or 5/4, right? 5/4. The revenue grows by a factor of 1.25 every 3 months. Which equation represents the revenue R as a function of months since the online store opened? If we were to find 1 month, 1.25 to the third power would not be between 72,000 and 90,000. So it has to be equation A. Find the monthly revenue 1 month after the online store opens. So I'm going to replace M with 1. So that's 72,000 times 1.25 to the 1/3 power. All right, that's 77,560 almost. Complete the following to explain how we can use the value of R1 to find R4. R1 exponential function changed by equal factors over equal intervals. Every 3 months, the monthly factor grows by a factor of 1.25. Because R4 is 3 months away from R1, we can multiply R1 by blank to find, well, we can multiply it by 1.25. So we know the answer for 4 months would be that, and they say we could take the answer from R1, which was 77,560, and multiply it by 1.25 and get the same answer. Question 2. At 7 a.m., a colony of 100 bacteria is placed on a petri dish where the population will triple every 6 hours. Select all statements that are true about the bacteria population. When the bacteria population reaches 900, 12 hours have passed since the colony was placed on the petri dish. All right, so it will begins with 100 bacteria. It triples, that's the factor, every 6 hours, so that's the 1/6 power. What about after 12 hours? So it would be 12, 6, or 2, right? That's 900. That is correct. 3 hours after the colony is placed on the petri dish, there are 200 bacteria. All right, 3 hours. 3/6 is the same as 1/2, and you can see there's about 173, not 200. There's about 173. In the first hour, the colony is placed on the petri dish. The population grows by a factor of 3 to the 1/6. That's what I typed in. Between 8 and 9 a.m., the population grows by a factor of 3 to the 2/3. No, it'd be 2/6. 2 hours later would make it 2/6, which is actually 1/3. The graph represents the cost of a medical treatment in dollars as a function of time D in decades since 1978. What is the cost of treatment in dollars when D equals 1? You can see it begin at 150, and we're trying to figure out the factor X. And this was at a half hour. The answer was what? 202.50. All right. To solve this, we would divide both sides by 150. We get x to the 1/2 power equals 202.5 divided by 150. X to the, you can see the answer is close to 2. We would, x to the 1/2 is the same as the square root of x, equals 202.5 divided by 150. The inverse of square root is squaring. I square this side, I get x. I square this side, I get my answer, which is 202.5 divided by 150 squared. And you can see it's about 1.225. So the answer would be 150 times 1.8225, and then the exponent for 1 year would be 1, 273.38, about 273.40. Question 4. The exponential function f is given by f of x equals 3 to the x power. Match each question with the correct factor. By what factor does f increase by when the exponent increases by 1? Alright, so when the exponent increases by 1, if it was 3 to the 0 power, anything to the 0 power is 1. When it's 3 to the first power, you can see 1 times 3 is 3. The factor is 3. By what factor does f increase by when the exponent increases by 2? Alright, 0 plus 2 is 3 squared. And so 9 divided by 1 is 9. By what factor does f increase when the exponent increases by 1/2? So 3 to the 1/2 power is the same as the square root sqrt of 3. So it's the square root of 3. Question 5. A piece of paper has 93.5 square inches. How many times does it need to be folded in half before the area is less than 1 square inch? Alright, 93.5 square inches. 93.5 square inches. And the factor is 1/2. You keep folding it in half. And they want to know how many times do we have to do that. So if we, that's the exponent. Or if it's 1, that's certainly not less than 1. What about if it's 3? That is not less than 1. What about if it's 5? Getting closer. What about if it's 7? 7's less than 1. How about 6? 6 is greater. The answer is 7. Last question. The area covered by an invasive tropical plant triples every year. By what factor does the area covered by the plant increase every month? So that would be 3 to the 1/12 power, because there are 12 months in a year. 3 to the 1/12 power.